Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, let me just show you a little bit of progress, even though no one's going to see this part. So, I've made like a pretty decent little thing. So we've got this guy, he runs around, good movement, you can go to the house. I actually have drawn a lot of the first bit. So I draw the basic shapes of the vectors, then I come in and start to, you can see I started to do shading here, and eventually it starts to look a little better. You can see I've actually made it so you can walk over here into your bedroom, and you can see here some stuff with a little more detail, a little more shading, although not done, but much more so done. More of like closer to what it'll be in the final product. Anyway, so today, what we've done here is made this all one scene. So you can like walk around outside, and then you can just enter into the house like this. But what instead I'm going to do today is, because it's a little hard for Godot to handle all this, and also if I want to make all those objects in here Y-sorted, it's just such a pain. So what I'm actually going to do is make it so that when you come into here, it actually transports you to a different level, and then you'll be in here, and then we can have all this stuff Y-sorted, rather than having this all be contained in one level, which I'm also going to have like a big outdoor area with like plants and trees, and it's just going to be easier if we make this a little thing. If we make this its own level. My I can't speak or think. My mouse is not currently working for some reason. Because the pug house in there. I know how that happened. Come on, there we go. Okay, cool. She's got some nice animations already. Walking is cool. Anyway, so now we're going to go ahead and start doing that. So you can see right now I've got a dad's shop scene, which is nice. But then, of course, we've got a world scene with the main character and dad's shop. So I will be basically just getting rid of this main scene here. And then this will eventually be a level for right now. Actually, I guess we'll keep that for right now. You know what I'll do is just do this. So make a new static body 2D. Okay, and then to that, I'll go ahead and add a sprite node, not an animated sprite, but just a regular sprite. And then we'll also, of course, add a collision shape. I guess I'll make this a collision polygon. Okay, and then I'm also going to add an area, 2D, and then, of course, to that, a collision shape. Cool. Okay. Now we just add the sprite. So this is going to be dad's shop. Oh, my dog just juiced. I guess she just juiced. Yes, she did. It is potent, y'all. If you have pugs, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so entrance. It's like this. We'll add so there we go. Dad's shop. Exterior. There we go, and then we want to add, duplicate the sprite row here real quick. Dad shop, room, exterior like this. Okay, except this needs to come behind that. Okay, and that's the basics of the shop. It's a little plain, but as I said, eventually the inside's gonna be like this, and you can of course go into your own room. But the idea is that now we'll make it so that when we run up these stairs, it's going to actually change the scene to the other scene. Now I have to make the transition to make that look nice and smooth, but I want to get the very rustics of that working, and then I'm going to start actually working on this scene being a functional scene, so we'll only be inside of it. So there's a lot of things I'm going to need to change about this. And then I want to, so I've already got, I guess it's just base. So if you go to, I have a scene called base character adult, just like this. And so the idea is that I've made these things so you can interact with. You talk with the guy, dialogue, which dialogue. So eventually, my idea is that you will be able to select from a JSON, like which character, which dialogue is it, and that will be an array of dialogues that you can talk about, right? Default movement, and then this will, do you want him to just idle in place wherever you put him? Do you want him to walk back and forth, horizontally, vertically, circle? So those are all going to be things, and then the default movement, I guess it's not, distance. So thus, this will be the radius of a circle or the distance you walk, horizontally or vertically. So that's all stuff, and it's really easy if you drop, all you got to do is drag and drop the correct formatted like kind of character art, and it'll just place them correctly into this, and all the animations will have been done. So yeah, it's really nice. And of course I'm going to make some much more unique characters, but for a lot of characters, this is going to cut it, which is going to make my job a lot easier. And I'm trying to spend the time now in the beginning making things dynamic, so that way I don't have to do them quite so often later on. Okay. But yeah, I was already having performance issues when this was a full thing, so now we're going to fix that. So we've got the 2 sprites. This will be room. This will be shop. I'll do the collision polygon now. Okay, this is a pretty easy little thing. So I guess we want something like this. So I'll start here, go like this. Yeah, something like that. Okay, a little bit like this, like this. So you want yeah, and then I'm going to be relatively consistent with how we're able to do this. Something like that. Something like this. 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 I know everyone loves that. Okay, and I guess I don't want you to be able to run into this thing here, so we'll do this. This. And then this. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. We'll see. Okay, there's the weird looking collision shape there. Now, this is going to be Y sorted, right? So, I would like our main character down a little bit. And let's see if the Y sort's working. Right now, we should have some very basic functionality. I guess we should go in here and adjust the collisions. So what layer are we on? We are on, we'll just say wall, and we interact with the main character. And go ahead and load the scene here. And all the collisions should definitely be working. I want to make sure the Y sort is working correctly. Sometimes it doesn't work out right away. It should. Nice. Okay, Y sort is working. It already looks nice. I mean, obviously we're going to have a nice outdoor scene here, but you know, it's nice that you can walk through it. Anyway, so cool. So now what we're going to do is put this area. So we've got the area 2D here, and I'll move the area to be right here. We'll add our collision shape. Whoa, what's happening? Where's my mouse? There it is. And I'm going to go down and add a rectangle shape. You can't zoom in with a scroll mouse in Godot. I would really, well, maybe you can with a normal scroll mouse, but I'm using a magic mouse from Apple, and it does not allow you to do that. So I make all my collision shapes by default white, which you can do in your editor settings, because then you can go into visibility and then make them whatever color you want. So I like to color code things, but it's kind of annoying now because we've got this highly colored, what's it called shape? The polygon shape. So what instead, let's see, what color do I want? Oh my God. What's up, King TJ? How can I learn Godot and GDScript? Dude, I am actually, I've kind of been lagging on it because I've really been excited about making this game, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm actually going to make an Intro to GDScript and Godot course. It's mostly going to be Intro to GDScript for people who have never coded before, and for people with some coding experience. But the idea is that you can start from basically nothing, and you should be able to, at the very least, understand people's tutorials and, you know, like, oh, that's what they're doing. But you should be able to make some pretty basic scripts right from the get-go after you finish this course. And my dream or my hope is that I should be able to finish, the whole thing should only be like an hour, and it's going to be in 10 to 15-minute episodes. So maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. But yeah, so, you know, if you're not subscribed, please do, because I'm really excited about that. I've actually recorded the episodes like 4 times each, but I'm like, I'm not happy with that. Like, you know, this is too confusing, or I forgot to put this part in. If I just edit it in, it's gonna look weird. So I do the whole thing in one take. So yeah, actually for this, I'm gonna leave this in gray. So this is gonna be the area, right? And yeah, so I'm gonna eventually have to add a script here. So I'll just do that right now. So we've already got this all saved, blah, blah, blah. I keep forgetting to change that from there. But now we can basically connect our Area 2D entered signal. Oh, let's go here as well and go to the collisions. What layer is it on? We'll just not put it on a layer for right now. And then I'm gonna say, oh yes, actually mask. So masking means, so layer is what layer are we on? Mask is what layer do we interact with? So in this case, we're interacting with the player, and it doesn't currently matter what mask we're on. Yeah. And then I'll go over to here, and I'll actually rename this entrance. Shop entrance. Okay, not entrances. Okay. And we'll do our area entered signal. And we'll stick this bad boy into the world. Oopsies. Area entered. Okay. World. Connect. Now we've got this function. What's going to happen? Eventually I'm going to make a transitioner. I actually was thinking about making that too, but my camera shake tutorial did not do so hot. Actually, I haven't looked, honestly, in quite a while. So I want to check. See how that's looking. How did this... Where is it? Yeah, 330 views. That's just not working out. So I don't think I was gonna make a transitioner. I use a transitioner in all my games, but I don't know. Clearly, people don't care. Okay, but for the basics, we can just do get underscore tree. Change scene, and then we'll do dad's shop scene, just like this. Cool. Okay, and that is great. Yeah, so for right now, there's a little more to it when you do stuff like this, because for instance, eventually this is going to be rather big, and you'll have this house, right? But you also have, like, there'll be a road going both ways, maybe something like this, and those are all be entrances, and you want to make it so that when you exit, like if I come from Dad's house, it'll spawn me in front of Dad's house, and same thing for here. So there's a little more to it, but for right now this will work, just in terms of getting what I need to get done. So this should do that, and then what we need to make sure here, oopsies. Let's grab main character. Yeah, hopefully that tutorial will be helpful. I think it should. If you have coding experience, it might be a little slow, to be honest. But oh, you know what I did? But you can just watch on 2x speed, and I think it will be definitely useful regardless, because I'm starting from a ground up perspective. You're like, oh, this is the equivalent in Godot. This should not be area entered because he currently does not have an area on him. I'd like it to be body entered. So, oh yeah, you have to right click disconnect. Body entered. Okay, and we'll do this. Is that one space is there? Okay, and the paste. All right, and now we can switch when we do this. We'll be in Dad's shop. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to Dad's shop, and I need to change the scene a wee bit. So I no longer need the exterior layer here. Okay, I will need it on this, but not on this. We are going to add. I don't need to sort Dad's shop, but what I'll do. Oh, do I? I don't know how I want to do this. Yeah, I think I want to do a little something like that, like this. I'm trying to see, because I don't know if I should make the parent, if I want to make the parent this or Y sort that, but I don't want this to necessarily be Y sorted. We will see, yeah. We will see. I do think I'm going to have to redo this polygon shape, but probably not too much. For one thing, I'll do this. Not that. I want to add my main character here. Main character, okay. And then we'll put him where he should be, like right here, like he just entered the house. Okay. And now we can actually run the world scene, and we can go like this. Yeah. So it just, obviously lagged, and of course, like what I'm talking about, we will have a transition there, so it's not quite like that. And of course, right here, oh, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Let's quit that. Okay. So right now it's doing all the stuff that we no longer need. So for instance, we don't need this doorway area anymore, but instead we're just going to make that a regular area 2D. Yeah, you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll add just a node, and then I'm going to do is make scene root, and then to this I'll add a Y sort. Okay, and then I'll put him underneath the Y sort, but I don't need to put dad's shop underneath the Y sort, because I want everything basically in dad's shop to be in front. But now I can do things a little differently and get a look I'm a little more happy with. So I was doing all this complicated stuff, which I actually still might need to do. So maybe I should hold my tongue, because I'm changing the Z index of this, which if you don't know what that means, it's like essentially the layer that it's on, right? Bring to front, bring to back type of deal. And so, yeah, this shouldn't actually, let's see. Anywhere, so let's go here, shop exterior, we're no longer using that in this scene at all. We're doing this and this still. So anywhere that we are tweening, we're actually not using this either. So doorway area, we can just delete all that. Okay. And then here we're doing this. So I'm not getting any errors, which is leading me to believe that we can currently do something like this. That's crazy how long that takes to switch scenes, but it should still work. Interesting. Because I wasn't having that problem before, where you can see that it's coming in front of this. Because it was adjusting both of theirs. But I'm wondering, does it have something to do? Yeah, this is actually not correct now. What if I just stick this in the Y sort? And does it do it all correctly? Nope. Okay, so that doesn't have anything to do with it. That's good. That's good and bad. Yes. So that is why I can't actually just... Oh yeah, we'll never need the shop top layer to be less than, if we go to the Z index, less than 1. Like, we shouldn't ever need that. So, because we're in here, oh crap, it's fine. We'll go in the shop this way. And so, yeah, so now we're always like that. And then if we do this, theoretically, yeah, no issues. So that's good. Because the idea is like that, is kind of looking like that. And then we're kind of behind now. So this is supposed to give the appearance of being a wall. Again. Yeah, so this is going to be a little Paper Mario inspired if you ever played that game. Oh, cool, now the dust kicks works in the house. That's great. And so the idea is that you will actually train mechs. So like your dad owns this like mech shop or whatever. Eventually he actually passes away pretty early in the story, or at least disappears. I haven't decided yet. And it's like you basically train mechs and battle them like Pokemon in kind of a Paper Mario style or a Darkest Dungeon style battle scene, where I actually have not officially decided on that yet, but I think I'd like to do it like Paper Mario style, where you put the order of your mechs matters, and so the one in front will take damage before the ones in the back do, unless you have some ability to do something like that. But anyway, so yeah, so it's a kind of RPG game like that. You can collect different mechs by defeating people, getting scraps, and then building the mechs yourself because you're an engineer's son. You can then set the mech's focus, right? So a mech might be focus on like sniper skills or focus on like heavy skills, and then those your AI. You're focusing the AI will grow, and then it can learn like new attacks and abilities, stuff like that. And then it's also got like a base class. So it's a scout, it's a heavy, whatever. So then different focuses will help classes and stuff like that. Anyway, oopsies, what the hell did I just do? Oh, I'm in the wrong app. But anyway, yeah. So this is what the shop is. This is the basics of it. So you can see I started to do the shading on this here, this mech that's under repair. And all this I haven't done shading yet at all, but you can see how it's coming along. But yeah, so the idea here, so this actually works still. This is working. So we're in the dad scene, and then, I mean, we can do this, but we won't be able to do that quite soon. In fact, let me go ahead and add that right now. So I'll add an area, 2D, and then to that I'll add a collision shape. Stick this right here, okay, and then we'll put the area 2D right here. You know what though, now that I'm doing this way, I feel like yeah, I'm gonna have to change these layers. So maybe I'll just do that real quick. Well, here, let's do this first, and then I'll do that. I always get ahead of myself. Okay, so do this. Get the collision shape. We're gonna add just another box collision shape, and then we'll make this 100 or not. Oh, it's just because I can't see it. Okay, Z index. Let's make the Z index a little higher. Here. Okay. Something like this. Something like that. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Again, we need to make sure we set the collision layers correctly. So we're currently on nothing. We interact with that. I don't. Well, there's Dance Shop has a script, but Node doesn't, and I guess that's where we will want to contain this. We'll load an existing file, so we can go Dance Shop. Dance Shop world. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and connect this to that. Body entered. Boom. And then same deal here. We'll do get underscore tree dot change scene. And then we'll do world just like this. And now we've got, you know, I can go in the shop and then I can go out the shop like that. So there's something. Obviously, we need to fix that considerably to make it nice and smooth, kind of like this transition. I don't know if I want it to necessarily like look like we're going in. I think that'd be too hard. So I think what'll happen is I'll actually pause the game, has the transitioner fade, and then fade back in, and you'll be in it. Or something like that, you know, something along those lines. We'll see what I do. But anyway, pretty cool. So now this is all working. I think that's good. So the question is, what else do I want to do? Okay, so I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to get these layers fixed. So we want to do, there's something called the inside top layer. So that's going to be the roof and what we call the faux outside here. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this group and then put this on the inside layer. So we'll go to inside, here's the items, and then on floor, I'll probably paste this right here. There's that, okay? And then we obviously want to hide him. I just do that for reference to see how big I'm making things. Thanks, man. I hope it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun. I don't know how big. I want to make this game rather big, but we'll see. The idea is that basically these people take over, right? Either by war or politics, and they ban mech fighting. And you love mech fighting. You're grown up. Your whole life has been that. Like, it's a big thing. And they rip that away from you and your father. The idea is that whether he's dead or whatever, they took your father. And you know this, you're trying to hold on to the business. You've already lost your mother, and it's a tough time. Then, basically, now that it's outlawed, business is crappy. You've got not a lot to go for. And then a resistance fighter stumbles in and says, like, you got to hide me. They're coming after me. Then you end up helping him, you take out one of the guards, and then you join the resistance. And the idea is that you go and you take back all the capitals, not capitals, but all the cities, and then leading up to the capital, and then yeah. So it's pretty, I think it's a pretty decent story, hopefully. I'm not the greatest writer, but I think it sounded, yeah. Dude, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm starting to get, this is like very rough. This is just getting the shapes down. I haven't even added the shading yet, but you can see like here on the wood, I really like the way that wood looks, and even this, like I think the shading is really coming along. But okay, what did I do? What am I doing here? I'm gonna quickly, I wanna hide the inside real quick, so we just want this top layer. I'm gonna go ahead and export this. Buildings, dad's shop. God, that's a lot. Dad's shop, inside, top layer. Okay, save. Reemplazar. Okay. We'll do this. And then we need to get inside. Ship save. Export. Dad shop inside. Save. Reemplazar, which means to replace in Espanol. These are big ass pictures. So, yeah, they're taking quite a bit. But now we should be able to walk into Dad's shop. And there we go, look at all that. I mean, you could just walk right through it for right now. But eventually I add some collision shapes. But yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like it's coming together to me. And I was also like, oh, there's too much free space in here. I think that'll be fine. Maybe I'll add some like junk on the ground that you can walk right over just to fill, artistically fill it up. But I think it's good the way we've got right now. I think once everything gets shaded too, and we get some shadows in here, I think it'll feel a lot more at home. I'm very indecisive about where the lightings come from. I think maybe I'll even add a light right here, but we'll see. The idea is that you'll be able to go here to this computer. I definitely need to make that computer bigger now that I see it next to me. And then you'll be able to, the idea will be like you're healing, you can repair your mechs here, you can add new weapons and items. And then also, oh, what's up, Javon? Dude, I think I might use, as long as you're cool with it, those shooting sounds you made for the other game in this game, potentially. Because they're pretty good. Like I said, they didn't fit my very arcade feel I'd had for that game, but they're very high quality stuff. I really think you should continue on that. And I'm if you're cool with it, I think it would sound really cool to make, because they sound like very realistic gunshots. They're really great. Anyway, so yeah, we can walk into here, got my house. That's cool. Okay, so now I've got those basics done, and now if I go on this, you can see I walk over those steps rather than on top of them, which is good. And then obviously I need to make that much more smooth, but I'm not going to worry about that today because I would like to get moving towards dialogue, and I've got a little over an hour to do that. So, like I said, I've got the base character adult scene. I don't know if I started making a father scene. Yes, I did. So here's this, and then you can see it just inherits that. And let's see. Okay, so this is, why is that on father? Is it because here's the animated skeleton, and then here, I feel like this is not the right script. This is on base character adult. That's that script. That's a problem. Because base character adult, these should actually not be, yeah, we don't want any of this. In fact, I'm going to remove this script and then delete it, and I'll stick all these things right here in the animated skeleton. So we'll do something like this. Yeah. Okay, cool. So the idea is that you can instantiate, I don't know why all that happened, but now this is going to be all fudged up. Well, at least now I can show you actually. So I don't want any, I'm going to delete that. Go to base character adult, go anim skeleton. I want to get rid of this, so I'll just go move to trash. So here I've made a father scene, and if you go to scene, new inherited scene, and then I'll add the base character, and then we name this one father. Now we go to animated skeleton, and so there's basically a little layout. So you open this, you can see that I've got the skeleton, the head, eyebrows, body, shoes, and arms. And then if we just go to the animated skeleton here, you can see I've got this texture property, which I have made, and if we drag and drop that, boom, it cuts this animated thing up and puts it in this way and attaches it to all of these things with the animations. So now if I run and put this as active, You can see we've got a nice little idle animation going, and his eyebrows actually move. This is why the eyebrows are, oh, they don't do it when it's not in game, I forgot. But yeah, it's awesome. It's going to allow you to make people very, very, very quickly doing things like that. And then if you come here, we've also got interactable. You can select dialogue, which you want them to have, some default movement. Do you want them to just stand there idle, or do you want them to do these? I haven't set these up yet. This is just the idea that I'm having. I might actually have to make a plug-in script for the dialogue, because I'm planning on having a JSON with all the characters, all their possible dialogue options. And so I think in order to actually load that into a selectable thing here, I would need to make a plugin, which I've done before for something much more complicated, so hopefully that won't be too bad. No problem, my G. Are you making this game for Android and iOS devices? We'll see. Right now, it totally could be, based on what I'm seeing. I was gonna make this a computer game, but I think this could very easily fit those. And I think right now the aspect ratio is going to be very easily modified for iPhone and Android. And it wouldn't be too hard, because I already know how to make a thumbstick, and then I'll just put a thumbstick at the bottom, and then you tap instead of click, and there you go. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of buttons to this game. You walk around, it's basically Pokemon. There's as many buttons you need in Pokemon. Yeah, there's no like attacking outside, there's no complicated stuff. So yeah. Anywhozer, so now we've got our father scene here, and I can go into dad's shop, and I can go ahead and drop father scene. This is very, very exciting, everybody, because now he will finally meet his father. Okay. Now, I guess it depends where I'm going to put him. The idea, yeah, I think ideally I'm going to have him like kind of checking out this. The idea is like this is going to be some junk, and this is like the next thing he's going to work on. He could also be at the computer. That's definitely a possibility. Maybe he's checking out this mech or something. But I think he's going to be here. The idea is you're going to wake up in your room, come out, and he's like, rise and shine, sunshine, like, could you give me a hand? And then he's like, go over to the computer, could you fix this mech? And it's going to kind of, as a semi-tutorial, kind of teach you, like, oh, this is how you adjust mechs and stuff like that. Before some, oh yeah, I need to actually make a TV for the shop, because that's how you're going to find about the news that the bad dudes have taken over the country. But anyway, I just really want to run this because let's make sure it's working. Look at that! He's so cute! Except the Y-sort's not working. That's because he's not in the Y-sort. Okay. And he's just very unrealistic, you know? That'd be, I appreciate that. That'd be freaking awesome. Look at that. They're animated. That's his dad. Can you see the resemblance? But yeah, my idea was like blue collar, like kind of cute little worker guy. Very cool, very cool. He's actually, I think the first time I'm going to make like a younger version of you at first, and then he's supposed to be like 17 right now, as he is. That's a problem. Because if father is, I mean, that's something easily fixed. But anyway, I'm not going to, I really want to get into making some dialogue happen today. So I think I'll have to do that at a later time. So, if we go to Faja, and I want to go into here. Now, if we go to dialogue, we could just write a string and that would work. But what I would like to do is, so I forgot, let's do this. JSON. JSON.print, JSON.blah, blah, blah. I'm actually just going to copy and paste one of my old save and load things that I make. So let's go to the Godot code. I think, yeah, I think my, yeah, I'll go to the gamepad and then gamepad client. Is it the client? Well, first off, this should be sorted by kind. Plugin. Yes, it's the plugin. That's what I want to go to. Okay, example lobby. Oh, that's not what we want. Add-ons. Go gamepad. Layout config. Button config. Selector. Drop-down container. Fonts. Gamepad layout config. Inspector plugin, drop down, Inspector plugin. Fudge, I have no idea where I made this. Hell yeah, Javon. I'm super down, actually. I'll probably hit you up. Because that's the one thing I don't like doing is sound design and music. Or I like it, but it's just very hard, and I get frustrated super over very quickly. Whereas art is kind of difficult for me, but I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy spending tons of time working on this scene and stuff. It's just a little frustrating that I can't do it faster. But I enjoy doing it. It's cool. Programming I love. But, and I even, like, I like doing the music and stuff, but it's just really frustrating how bad I am at it. Like, I spend all this time, and it's, like, doesn't sound that good. I'll spend, like, 3 hours trying to make a pop sound. I actually did make, and I'll show you real quick, a very basic, well, I shouldn't do it this way, but if we go to, I think it's text, there we go, text box scene. So, oh, and it doesn't, that's why, because we need Faza now. Father, okay, and then really, just temporarily, I'm going to set the default action to, oh, it is default talk. And then we want to deactivate this real quick, and we'll set playing. Okay. Now, so that's like, that's how dialogue is gonna go. I kind of like that little blip 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 sound. Anyway, and so that's pretty simple. The way I do this is just, actually let me do this before I forget. Shouldn't matter, but it does because this should be activating it, but whatever. Okay, on. So yeah, this is really simple. So that's how it's gonna at least appear, and all this is doing is label. We're essentially getting randomized. We're getting our visible characters, or we're setting our number of visible characters to 0, and then we're also getting how many characters there are, and then what we're doing is that for Kara. We are looping over all of those characters, and for each character we're showing it, and then we're yielding for 0.05 seconds, and then we're going to play this. So it plays the sound with a random pitch, or a pitch adjusted by a random amount of 0.5, right? So negative 0.5 to 0.5, so I guess random adjustment of 1, and it plays that sound at that random pitch adjustment constantly, and that's how you get that kind of cool sound. It plays it for each character. And so it's like, yeah, it's pretty, surprisingly, it's probably spent like an hour and a half finding that noise. I got a bunch of different noises and like messed with them, and then eventually I'm like, wait, what if we just bump the pitch up on this? I think it was like a footstep or something I had made, and that was like, yeah, that was by far my favorite. One more time. It's like, it's nice because I had some sounds that sounded cool, but I could, like, this would get annoying. That I feel like is not very irritating, at least not yet. We'll see. Okay, so what was I doing here? Was it in this one? And I just had opened it. Yes. Oh, mama, that's a lot of tabs. In fact, I'm going to move you into desktop 1 because I typically like to have one desktop with all this crap. Okay, this is what I was trying to get. So there's that dialog blip there. Okay, and so we need to figure this out. So not fonts, not drop-down container. Well, yeah, it'd have been in here for sure, right? Button config, no. Gamepad layout config, drop-down, MyInspector plugin.gd. What was it called? It was like UI builder, I think. Tool button, drop-down container, color selector, button config. Okay, let's search UI underscore builder, and then layout configuration. No, is it? I know, I mean, I know I call it in those scripts, but let's go here. Go gamepad. Okay. Let's go UI underscore builder. This was the, there we go, UI builder functions. I don't know where that was. Can I open with text edit? Yep. Okay. And then I just want to go steal some functions I had made here. Yeah, saving functions right here. I'm not even going to read them yet. Just do something like this. Okay. Yep. Cool. Okay. And then I'll go to scripts. That's not what I meant to do. I can't see it. Okay, there we go. And we'll go file, new script, and this I need to change. Empty. Change where it's going to be. I guess we should change the name. So this is going to be called. Do I want this to be called globals? We'll call this dialog. Dialog.gd. Okay. So I'm going to create this. I don't know what path I want it at though. We go up. So this is the res file. So we'll create folder, and we'll say functional scripts, and then I'll save it there. Dialog create. We got this. Okay. Cool. Now there's going to be a lot of issue here. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, there's actually no issues, which is nice. So this is called a static function, which it means is like you can access it from any script and it'll do a thing, which is nice. And so it's really good for getting and loading, for instance, info. So I actually don't need these. We'll just use one of them. Or is that, which one is better? Layout info, I believe. Structure instance from ID. Yeah, this is the more complicated one. This one is much more simple. Because this is loading a dictionary. This is loading a node. Like that. Okay. What's up, Stefan? Hey, Ennis. Sorry, I saw you there. Yeah, I love that you like my art. It's making me very, very happy. Okay, so these are not going to be correct directories. This one is not even going to be used. And then this one, we'll say dialog. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Let's change this to dialog JSON. Dialog JSON underscore path. Okay. Ah, that's why. Okay. Okay, replace all. Cool, so that should resolve that. Now what we need to do is go ahead and go to project segment. Wait, I think I might have saved these. Auto open, store var. Okay, good. Because you can, sorry baby, you can store these JSONs with like code and stuff to make it. Oh. Well, sorry, you know, and it's not the worst thing in the world for me to say hey to you, but I will never do it again if that's what you're trying to get at. Okie dokie, hooky pokey. So we go to project. Is it project? Editor settings, layout, open editor setting. Ah, there we go. Editor data, settings folder. Oh, yes, there we go. This can be this. So this is going to be user, and this will be dialog underscore data. Okay. Ooh. Dialog.dat. Okay, cool. So we're not actually ever going to need to save it, except for the first time I will, just to make it in the right way. Save that thing. Shake that thing. Okay, so we go to project settings. Have I saved this yet? Yes, I have. I'm going to make this an auto-loaded script. So we're going to go into functional scripts, dialog GD, call this dialog. Okie dokie. And this is going to be load dialog info. Actually, let's do this. Anywhere it says layout, change it to dialog. We should actually be good for the most part. Okay. Okay, now we have to give it a dictionary, of course. So this is now global, and what we can do is just basically anywhere that has a ready function. Of course, this one does not, but I'm going to function ready, and then I'm going to say, let's call it dial. Oh no, is it not going to like that I call this on? Did I not go to project settings? Oh, it didn't. Okay, add. There we go. There we go. Dialog dot save dialog info, and then we'll just add. Okay. So the way that I want this to be structured essentially is that we'll have like a dictionary like this, and it'll have like the name of the character you want. So we'll say father, right? And this will be like father 01, right? And then, I'm sorry, that's not how dictionaries are written. Corresponding to that, we'll have a array, and this will be an array of strings. And each string in that array, like this, and then I am your father. Okay. So the idea is this. So you'll have an array of strings. Each string in this array will be one like load dialog and then click. So it'll be like brrr, hello, then you press A, and then it says brrr, I am your father. So that way it'll say, like, it'll be very easy to simply write that. And then, you know, potentially we'll load different dialogues, different scenes and stuff like that. And for characters like my father and some like very important characters, we'll need to make this a little more complicated and a little more customized. But for the large majority of dialogue, this will be a really great way to handle that pretty easily. Let's see. As far as I've been playing a dialogue system in Godot, the control UI nodes, at least for me, still don't get them. I'm actually very comfortable with them, to be honest. There's some things that like Godot has a lot of built-in stuff for dialogue and things like that, and I don't like them. Like, it's much easier for me, having done what I've done so far, to actually just start from scratch. Like, start from a base control node. I know how to use the anchors and code those anchors in. And do a lot with the UI system, and it's rather than use their dialogue system, which I actually really hated using their pop-ups and dialogue. It's much easier just to hard code all that stuff. It really doesn't take very much time, and it allows you a lot more flexibility with stuff. Just like when I make the buttons, so in my game Parry, I'll show you real quick because I actually think this is cool. So Hexcojam, if we open up Parry and open up the project here. So if you, let's go, title, I think, yep. So if you look here, these buttons are actually custom scenes because the buttons limit you a lot when it comes to text. So if we load this scene here, the buttons limit you a lot in terms of text. You can't put both a shadow and an outline, so you can't get the same effect you can. And also, so what I've made here, if you go into these, so it's a text button, and it's a label with a button as a child of it, right? We can set the anchors full rect, meaning that no matter what we set the text to, this button is going to be the size of whatever the text is. Click and hover sounds, just, you know, those noises, pretty easy. And then I've also done something pretty cool here, which is if you put tool at the top of your script, your code will run in the editor, that which can run. Like, these signals aren't going to run in the editor. Neither is like on button pressed. Any of these aren't going to run in the editor. But something like this, process will. So this is really nice. Essentially what this does is that so if editor, engine editor hint, basically is saying like if you're in the editor, this is saying if you're in game, right? And if you're in game, we set the process false, but while we're in the editor, we want this to constantly be checking to see and setting our rect pivot offset to half of our rect size. And basically all that's doing is, like, if you see this, you can see the rect pivot offset right here is directly in the center. You can see if I undo that, we've got that, and if I make this bigger, the process is setting that to be in the center, which is, you know, just great because typically when you write text, this makes it so it expands from both sides and you keep it nice and center. So yeah, anyway, that was just like something I knew how to do. Hopefully, I don't think that should quit everything. I just want that to quit. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's something I made that I think is really, really handy, and I'll probably have to do for this game as well. So function ready, dialog, save dialog info. Let's go ahead and run this. See if I get any errors. No errors, a little bit something in the debugger here. What do we got? The argument body's never using the function. That's cool. Change scene returns a value, but this value is never used. I don't know why I would ever need to capture that value. Maybe someone could explain to me, but I'll ignore that for right now. Okay, now if I do project, or is it editor? Yeah, open editor data settings folder. Godot. Okay, app user data. Feature profiles, projects. Uh-oh, this is looking weird to me. Editor themes. Templates, script templates, projects, feature profiles, app user. This is where it must be. Mecha. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's what we want. I don't know what logs is. That must be like saves of our actual thing. So we have dialog.dat. So we've created this folder here, and if I open it, that doesn't look like a dictionary. Why does it not look like a dictionary, dude? Uh-huh. Do I need to open it in a special thing? Like, why? Does anyone know how to open and read JSONs? How to open and edit JSON file. Because JSON files are plain text, so you can open the. That's what I thought. I knew it. I thought you should be able to do that. But why does it look so ugly? Is that not a JSON? It is a JSON, right? Because if I go into, oh, I gotta go, well, here, let's do this. I don't know what that is. Dialog. Am I not making this JSON? Dialog JSON path. Fine. Oh, file. This is file. This is not a JSON. Okay. Well, now I'm confused. Okay. Godot JSON. Okay, let's go. File. Reading and writing operations file type. This is used to permanently store data into the user's file system. Into read from it. This can be used to store game save data or player configuration files, for example. See, I don't know what that means, Stefan. So like I basically don't know what JSON is, except that it's a text file that like your game writes to and then we can read from it. Like, what is a parse result? Does that mean like what is the difference between a file and that? Like, I know I saved it as a .dat. Do I just need to save it as a .json? And then do I need to call that function parse result? Like parse the JSON that we just loaded? Because what I would like to do is just have a JSON file. How to create a JSON file? Is that Godot? No, it's not. Okay. Is a containing JSON object and array line type for JSON. Oh, okay. More information. What does JSON parse do? So you literally just write. Yeah, so you can literally just write a dictionary, and then we just put .json. Okay. Okay, so JSON.parse. So I want to read what that does. Help a class for parsing JSON data for usage example and other C JSON parse result. Okay. Returned by JSON.parse. JSON result contains the decoded JSON or error information. Okay. So the error type of the JSON source was not successfully parsed. See the error constants. Okay. So let's do this. And I guess I don't want a dat. We'd want it to fall save. So how do I create a new JSON? I'd imagine I can't just put .json here, right? I don't think that'll work. Info. So I think this is probably still going to be good if dir.dar exists. So that's going to be good because that's going to make our director that we want. Then I think this is going to need to be json.new, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, json.new. P equals json.parse. Now I'm confused. That's JSON parse result. Here's JSON. Okay. I'm going to try and beat your helpful response, Stefan, and try to figure it out myself. And like, okay, blah, 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 blah. JSON.print my dictionary. Why does that? That looks stupid easy. Name my dictionary. Is this the same as write, or is this printing it out to the console? Okay, methods, JSON parse result. Parses a JSON encoded string and returns a JSON parse result containing the result. String print, blah, blah, blah. Converts a variant var to JSON text and returns the result. Useful for serializing data to store or send over the network. The JSON specification does not define integer or float types, but only a number type. Therefore, converting a variant to JSON text will convert all numerical values to float types. Use indent parameter to pretty print the output. Tags and return the result. For usage, example unimportant sense. Parse string, it's JSON variant value. Okay. So let's go back to Dad's shop here. Okay. You know, I say, for instance, we'll do var dick equals, and do this, or dick equals dick. I'm sorry, I want to do that. Equals that. We'll make that so it's a little less phallic. Okay. Dialog.save. Okay. There we go. And then I should probably do it like this. And like this. Just to be nice. And then this should be dict. Okay, and then what we'll do in here, because we've got, oh my god, dialog, shop, dialog, okay. So we've got this, we're feeding it a dictionary. This is creating the directory, obviously. I don't know if that's how you would create a new JSON. I mean, that seems right to me, but let's see. So this is, I believe, yeah, this is the result after you've already done it. This is how you get it. But how do we create a JSON? This is for parsing JSON data. How do we create a JSON? String.print converts a variant var to, so this sounds like it, to JSON text and returns the result. Useful for serializing data. Okay. So it does not define integer or float types. So I don't think we actually need to do JSON.new here. I mean, fuck. Returns result. Okay, so what I would like to do here is just do this for right now. And then I'm going to go file equals JSON dot print. And then we'll do, wait, but that's, why is it doing that? JSON.print, and then we'll do dialog info. Okay. Oh, okay, so I'm on the right track, but that's how you'd save, right? But this won't actually print. So if I want, well, yeah, let's just actually run this. Hopefully it doesn't break the game. Okay, nothing too bad happened, but it is probably going to tell me the local var file is not declared, never using the block. That's cool. Oh, because is declared but never using the block. Okay, now if we do print file, now it should return something weird, because this should be in JSON, I believe. JSON language. Okay, so yeah. Guess I'm a little confused. So now I want to go to JSON parse result, see what the hell this thing's doing. Returned by JSON.parse, JSON contains the decoded JSON or error information. Okay. So parse. So this yeah. All right, Ennis, let's give your stuff a shot. Obviously that was going to happen. Okay. Okay, so object, file path, print object. Oh, you didn't check for an error. So if error equals file.open. So this is exactly what I was doing here. Wait, am I confused? It's okay, baby, you go down. So we are just doing a file, but we're just saving that file as a JSON. So if I just do this, and then this would still be file.new. Say file.store line. Now what is store line? I want to learn. I hate just like copying and pasting someone's code without knowing what it's doing. Store real. Okay. Store line. Okay. Stores the given string as a line in the file. Text will be encoded as UTF-8. Okay. So it's going to be UTF-8. Store real. Stores a floating point number. Store string. For the given string in the file. What's the difference between store string and store line? Okay, anyone explain that? What's the difference between store line and store string? I mean, the literal difference is this says as a line, and this says a string. Well, what is a line? Like it's only on one line, and this could be more? Like, I don't understand. But, so we still do save it as, this should not be .json, or is it? Now I'm really confused. So, and then what's store var? Where is store var? Bool for objects. Okay, stores any variant value in the file if full objects is true, encoding object is allowed. Okay, so, yeah, we're not doing that. We're encoding a string. Any string is, I just don't understand the difference between a string. Like store line appends the file, don't know for sure though. Ah, so that could actually, well, I mean, that'll be fine for our purposes because I'm literally only using this to create the JSON. And then, and then I'm going to just be loading it. Okay. So var directory new, if there exists, do this, file.json.print, but this is wrong. So this still needs to be file.new. New. Okay. Air equals. Oh, okay, baby, come here. Okay, baby, come here. Oh yeah, Johnny time or beanie time. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh, you smell so nice. I washed her today. And she smells so good. She's so cute. She's so cute, you guys. So I guess then I probably want, it doesn't really matter actually, because we're going to do that. Okay, var error equals file.open JSON path. So what do you do? Well, you're also doing the, no. File.open, file path, file.write. Okay, so that's cool. Instead of store var, all you're doing is doing this. You're doing store underscore line, and then we're doing JSON.print dialog info. JSON.print dialog info. Okay. And then yeah, so that's interesting. So that's it. And then now if I run, well, here. I also want to open this up. I'm going to dialog data. So now if we run this, okay, cool. We open this up. We've got dialog.json. I want it to open with text edit. Boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Now, will it fudge it up if I make it look pretty? I think there was something about that here. Oh, okay. You just do this. JSON.print that. Now, this will actually pointlessly tell us if store line is appending, which is cool. So this should do this, okay. And then we should just have one dialog JSON. We go here, open it up. Oh fuck, it's opening Xcode. Damn it, I'm an idiot. Oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Okay, good. So storyline doesn't append, but it does this. That's interesting. But yeah, so that's cool. That is what we want, I guess. Redefine game dev. Thanks, man. I hope that's not sarcastic because I feel like this is not the funnest stuff to watch. But thanks for watching. Storyline will result in invalid JSON data. Okay. Just give it a shot. See if anything interesting happens. Okay, so open. What did I just do? What did I just do? App user data, Mecha, dialog. No. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, okay. So that did the exact same thing, but I haven't loaded it yet, so I can't test what you just said. But I'd imagine that you were correct. Okay, Xcode has quit. Okay. So back into here. So now I'm going to load dialog info. That's the reason I'm using this as a constant path. So saved her. That's dialog info.null, file equals file, file exists, dialog JSON path, error equals this. That should still be good, I think. That should be to open a JSON, unless we need to parse it. Parses a JSON coded string and returns a JSON parse result containing the result. Okay, so this is going to be the hard part. So if file.file exists dialog underscore JSON path, okay, then this is where we're going to need to change some stuff. AR equals file.open, and then dialog JSON path. This is going to need to be JSON.parse, I believe. .parse. Unless I'm wrong. Maybe we'll... No, that's not right, right? Thanks, man. So, yeah, so error file dot open. I don't think this is right because JSON parse should parse a string, and that's parsing. This is just giving it the path. So we're opening the file at the path here, right? Just curious, why do you want to change the dialog info from Godot during runtime? I'm not actually going to do this during runtime. I'm going to do it in the editor, probably via a plugin, maybe not. The idea is that this will be a huge file with all the dialogue that I need in the game. Oh, actually, maybe I will be doing some at runtime. But so like if you go down to one of these base character classes, you can go here and click interactable, and then I want this to be a drop down where you put like dialogue. This will probably be 2, and then it'll be like, okay, father 001, and then you just like you can just select which dialogue you want. And so that will be cool that you can do that from code, or I'm sorry, from the editor. But then also in game, you might have somebody that I want them to do this, and then once they get over to this position, then I want them to load a new set of dialogue, father 002, right? So that's why I want to do that. I won't need to, oopsies, I won't need to actually save it ever. So that was just 1, learning, but 2, to create the file in the correct place, in the correct format. So like literally I just deleted it, but in fact I'm actually just going to comment it out. Not that, we want to do this. Yeah, I'm just going to comment that out there because we're never going to use that again, essentially. And then in Dad's shop, I want to go ahead and not save this now. But instead, we're going to do .load dialog info. And we should be able to print like that. So before, this was just a .dat folder, and so essentially, should still stay there. This returns a dictionary, or should return a dictionary, but I guess it's going to return a string now, huh? Fudge. How do I get this back to a dictionary? Okay, NS put something in here. What does NS say? Save file.get as text. Save file.close. Var result JSON equals JSON.parse text. Equals save file.get as text. Get as text. Okay, so we're just snagging that real quick. Okay, well, let's just see what breaks. Yeah, got some debugs. What is it yelling at me for? Decode variant condition. Should return error invalid data. Code variant. Okay. The parse text. So you're getting get as text. So if we go to file, actually, here, let me do this. I should just do this here. Yeah, it's the right class.
Should you be ready to leave in like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Also, do you have cash for tips?
Oh, shit. Let me see. Sorry, just chatting with my girlfriend. Oh, I've only got 100.
Oh no. Okay.
You need to leave like now?
What?
You need to leave now
I
then?
don't even know where I can.
Ask Celine.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, Indian swamp? Don't know what that means. Okay, so you're saying get underscore. Hey, don't worry about it, Ennis. Thank you so much for trying. Get as underscore text get as text. Ah. How we should and user data folder first one of all. It's recommended to use resource loader instead of file API. If some files are converted to engine-specific formats, the original source files may not be present in the exported PCK package. Okay, interesting. So, where's get as text? Returns the whole file as a string. Text is interpreted as being UTF-8 encoded. Okay, so we're getting the text, but the text is a JSON result. Then we parse the text, and that gives us the dictionary. Right? Tell me if that's right. So what we need to do is do file.get underscore as text, right? And then what did you say? You did something else, not just get as text. Oh no, then you close the file, which is fine, because we do the same thing. And then you're doing what? JSON.parse that and then print it. Okay, so JSON.parse dialog info. Okay, and then this should return, if I'm not mistaken, this JSON parse result. JSON parse contains the decoded JSON or error information if the JSON source wasn't successfully parsed. Okay, you can check if the JSON was parsed with if JSON result dot error. Wait, why would you do that? Oh, because this is the. So we would say, in this case, we can say, oh, we need to capture this. Why is there not an example? Okay. Use JSON.parse this, so we need to this. Oh, we can just do this. Dialog info equals that. So this is probably not, this is a little taboo, but I don't like making a ton of variables. Okay. Dialog info equals JSON.parse dialog info, and then we'll just say, so that's we do this. Type of p result equals type array. Oh, okay, that's cool. So we can basically say if type of dialog info equals type underscore dictionary, print, yay, okay. Why did that print? What?
She doesn't have a 10.
Okay, yeah, so that's exactly what I did here, right? We got this string, this is a string, then we're parsing that string with JSON. What did you say?
What do I do?
She doesn't have money? Did you ask Max? He likes cash. He prefers to pay. It's an inside joke. He hates paying with credit card because he's an elitist. Okay, if type of dialog info equals type dictionary, I don't understand why that's false though. And what do they do here? So that's what they do. Ah, no. We need dialog info dot result. Right? Yep. Okay. Now if we run this. Yay. Oh, is it because, oh, it's because we're printing that in here. Okay, but this is no longer, so the dialog dot result. Okay, so then we need to say that dialog info equals dialog info dot result. Okay, and now, hey, bada bing, bada boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Okay, so there are lots and lots of uses for this, but the basic one, it's time to go. Yeah, that was quite a mature response.
What?
Nothing. Just ignore me. Okay. And then we're going to say else. Yeah, so this is accounting for that. No dialog saved. Else. Now this is accounting if it's not a type dictionary. Say dialog info equals. Just write an empty dictionary there. Error.
Fish so good.
Okay, and we'll say, just to keep it in the same format. No dialogue. Okay. Anyway, this will never be there, but I'm just kind of reminding myself that that is an error. I'm ready to go. We'll be done. But okay, so yeah, so I didn't actually get to implementing anything. This is exactly what we need. But so the idea, and I'll just quickly explain this while my girlfriend needs the bathroom. Sorry, she's not happy about that. Okay, so the idea here is yeah. So yeah, and this so like I said, the idea here is like with your here and father, we can go here. And then we can go over to here if the interactable is selected, go to dialog and get a drop down menu. So what we would do is say something like export var dialog equals, and we're not going to make this a string, rather this will be equals dialog dot load dialog info, except that this should be this. Okay. Export bar.
Should we bring the ladies
Yeah. And I think you could just do duck keys. And then we need to get rid of this type hint. Expect an identifier for the member variable name. Fudge. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I'm trying to do something like this. Ah, that's because you do this. Yes, that's how we do it. And stretched blank or the blank of the export hint. Fuck. Oh, it's because of this. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll figure this out later, but the idea is that this will then have a list of all those, and then we can use those, and they'll be handy. Anyway, thanks you guys so much for watching. I'll be back on later today. I'm going to try and get this done probably the next day or two, and then I really think I'm going to start working on my Intro to GDScript course, which is, of course, going to be free and on this channel. So thanks so much. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, have a good one.